Traders, if you want every single one of my trade ideas for the coming week, then stay tuned because we're going to do just that. Welcome to Simply Forex, the channel that gives you in-depth market analysis, trade ideas, tips and advice so you too can succeed at trading. And if you stay to the end of the vid, I'm going to give you all of my trade ideas for this week. So stay tuned for that. If that sounds like a plan, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like. And guys, we've got so much to get through, right? We're going to look at the flight to safeties because we've got indices pushing up, and this is creating weakness in the flight to safety. So we've got some great trade ideas there. We're also going to take a in-depth look at the US dollar. We saw some strength come into the US dollar at the end of last week. We're also going to take a look at Bitcoin, and we're going to look at the euro pairs as well. So loads to get through, guys. Let's get started. So we're going to start with the US dollar, right? And the dollar index is a pretty good place to start, right? So this is the dollar index, and you're looking at the monthly chart. Now, the big question here is, will it hold onto this $100 level? Right? That's the big burning question, right? Because you can see in here, this is very good support. Okay. And obviously this monthly candle hasn't finished forming yet. But if it holds on to this level and this $100 mark, then I expect to see US dollar strength because that is quite a key level and we can expect buyers at that key support level. Now, we've started to see a little bit of that across the dollar majors, right? Let's take a quick look at the weekly chart here as well. And on the weekly chart, right, it looks like it's broke down. Okay, it's breaking out of this grey zone and breaking all of these lows. But I'm really going to, hold judgment until I see that monthly candle. And we're looking at the bigger time frames because these are swing trades, right? Now, we've had a nice big bullish weekly candle. Are we going to start seeing this come back into this grey zone, this support and resistance zone and above the $100 mark? Like I say, if we do, then we're going to start to see some US dollar strength. If we don't, and this stays broken, right, at the end of the month, remember we've only got next week till the end of the month, then we're going to see further US dollar weakness. All right, so pivotal level for the dollar. And that is, echoed, good word, that is echoed across all of the other US dollar majors, right? If we look at Euro US dollar, right, we're at a key weekly level, right? It's no coincidence this is all happening at the same time, right? Euro US dollar at a key weekly level, and look at that weekly candle we've seen, right? I would suggest we can take that down to 1.200. Okay, if we look at pound US dollar, right, again, weekly chart, we're at a key weekly level, as is the dollar index, right? And again, we're seeing a nice big weekly bounce off of that level with this big wick, and we could take price down to 1.3200. Now, both of those are trade ideas, but what the ones I really like are Aussie dollar US dollar and US dollar yen, right, for US dollar strength. So let's take a look at those, because Aussie dollar US dollar is in a downtrend. So this is actually with trend, because if we just follow the weekly chart, again, we're looking at the weekly chart, guys, these are swing trades, right? We are here, we're in a downtrend, we're getting lower lows, and these highs in here are holding, right? And we haven't had a super bearish candle, but just the fact that that wick has closed back into these highs here, Aussie dollar US dollar is a sell trade for this week. This is my first trade idea, and we're looking to take it back down to 0.622, right? Just this last support level. And the other US dollar pair I really like is US dollar yen, because we're also seeing, we'll look at this in a minute, but we're also seeing weakness in the flight to safeties, right? And US dollar yen, yen is a flight to safety. And again, we are at a key weekly support level, and just look at that candle. that is a beauty, right? That is if people who want to know the candlestick pattern, that is a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. The name is not important. It's irrelevant. What's important is you can tell by that candle that buyers are in control at a key weekly support level. So my other US dollar strength trade is US dollar yen, and we're looking to take that back up to 146. All right, so yeah, that leads on nicely to the flight to safeties, right? And the weakness we're seeing in those. And we know why that is happening, right? If we just take a quick look at the indices, right? Look at the NASDAQ. That is kapow. Is it coming back down? No, it's not. Kapow. Right? And this has become almost a buy trade for me as well, right? This is looking like it's going further. I know I mention this every week. There's still a lot of uncertainty between, about tariffs and between America and China. But, just look at the technicals, right? Those are very bullish candles, and that suggests more room to the upside. Although, worth pointing out, we are still in this downtrend. But what this has meant, all this buying pressure on the indices has meant weakness in the flight to safeties. Now, we're going to look at Swiss franc and yen. Now, the interesting thing here is, guys, is some pairs, like if you look at Aussie dollar, Swiss franc, right, we're seeing this retrace. Okay, so we're seeing Aussie dollar strength and this Swiss franc flight to safety weakness. Now, does this have more room to go into? Yes, probably. Although we are at a resistance level. Okay, so this is not my top-notch A1 trade. And it's the same with Aussie dollar yen, right? Now, we're seeing all this yen weakness, right? But as you can see, we are at a key resistance level. So any Swiss franc or yen pair that you look at needs to have that room to move into, right? And the perfect example of this is Canadian dollar Swiss franc and Canadian dollar yen. And we've actually seen strength come into the Canadian dollar. That's a bit of a theme for the trade ideas I'm going to show you. All right. Now, if we look at Canadian dollar Swiss franc, we're still getting that nice big bullish candle, right? And again, this is a retrace trade, guys, right? We're in a downtrend. This is a retrace trade, right? But nice big bullish weekly candle. What I like is the body of this candle has broken the high of that candle. Really like that. And there's room to move into. Okay, so Canadian dollar Swiss franc is a buy trade, and we're looking to take it to 0.6050 psychological level. And it's the same with Canadian dollar yen. With these flight to safeties, I'm just looking for room to move into. And this is really interesting, right? So we're at this key weekly support level. Are we starting to see a double bottom pattern, right? And we break this level, maybe. But all I'm going to do is just, because of this huge bullish candle off of this weekly support level, I'm just going to take it up to this next level of resistance here and this 105.50 psychological level. Because you can see this has room to move into. Now, the uncertainty in the markets with tariffs are going to reflect in the flight to safety pair. So what you might find here, guys, is something that looks like this, right? You might get price come up to here, and then we just kind of get this kind of action, right? Because of that uncertainty, we just get a ranging market. But this is still a nice trade back up to these highs here. So yeah, let's compare CAD yen and CAD Swiss franc with a couple of other pairs, right? Let's have a look at pound Swiss franc. Again, the room's not there, right? Which is again why I prefer the Canadian dollar pairs. If we look at New Zealand yen, for example, right? The room's not there. right? This is all selling pressure. We're at the moving average 20, but with those Canadian dollar pairs against the flight to safeties, there was room. So they're my top-notch A1 trades. And also something really interesting I want to show you guys as well. This how everything's correlated, right? Now, before I show you that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button if you're enjoying my analysis. Also, please don't forget to come join our trading community. We have wonderful traders in there sharing knowledge, ideas. You can have a chit chat about anything. So come join our free Discord channel. Also, guys, if you want to improve as a trader and you want to take advantage of all of our premium trading education, we've got the Simply Forex Complete Trading Course. We've got the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one. And we've got the VIP Trading Academy. If you want access to all of those, please check out our website, www.simply-forex.com. Also, guys, don't forget to join us for the live streams Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8 a.m. EST. Come join us for those. And also, guys, leave a comment, right? If you've got any comments, you want any help with trading, there's a currency pair you're looking at, leave a comment below. Right, so that's what I was going to show you guys, this interesting correlation, right? So I like Canadian dollar Swiss franc buys and Canadian dollar yen buys, right? I've just shown you that those trades, right, and why I like them. Now, if we look at Swiss franc yen, I like this as a buy trade, right? So if you think about that, if I like Swiss yen as a buy trade, then the real top-notch trade should be Canadian dollar yen, right? Because Swiss franc is stronger than yen. Because what I'm about to show you is Swiss franc yen buys, right? If we just look at structure, right? This is where we're at. And then bang, right? We're in an uptrend with Swiss franc yen, clearly, right? Higher highs, lows, potentially higher lows. And at this support level through here, you can see price has reacted many times. We've got this nice bullish wick bounce off that level. So Swiss franc yen, I think we can take back up to this 176 level. All right, and again, these are swing trades. This is the weekly chart. So we like Swiss franc yen. What else do we like, guys? Yeah, just to show you this further Canadian dollar strength that I was talking about. So Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, we like this for potential sells, right? Because just look, we know this is a really good support level, so it can become good resistance. And we were, in this kind of sideways market, and then bang, right? We're in a downtrend. We're back to a really nice level. We can see these candles are stuttering because this is closing back below this. The candle's not super bearish. I would like to see, daily candles come in and, and start looking very bearish. And then I think we can sell Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. And if you look at the day chart, guys, right, we saw this big candle here. We've seen this big wick, right? I think this can keep pushing lower. All right, so Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar sells, and New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar sells. Because if we go to the weekly chart, this is the day chart, but look, you can see sellers coming in, guys, right? And if we go to the weekly chart, again, right, look at trend. We are in a downtrend, and we've just come back to these last highs. So we're getting lower lows, right? And these highs in here are holding. We've had a bit of a bearish wick. I think this can come lower, and I would just aim for the next support level in here. So that's that Canadian dollar strength I was talking about. Let's have a look at Bitcoin quickly as well, right? Bitcoin has been thundering up. This is like the four. Yeah, got a thunder. So yeah, look at Bitcoin, guys, right? It's gonna get back to this 100,000 level, right? If not back up to these highs. And Why do we think this? Because just look at structure. Again, this is the weekly chart. We was in a downtrend, bang, we're in an uptrend. Now, if we get a retrace back into this grey zone, what was once support, then resistance can become support again. I think we've got a really nice entry on Bitcoin in this area here, back up to that $100,000 level. Yeah, nice trade that. Look how bullish that weekly candle is. And then finally, guys, I want to look at the euro pairs because, you know, these are almost like, are they good trades? Aren't they? Right now, we know euro was super strong, right? We know euro was crazy strong, right? Now, if we look at the weekly chart, you know, we've retraced, you know, a reasonable amount. We've got candles just all holding on to each other. Is this the support we need to take price higher? Right? Now, that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is just look how bearish these candles are and price keeps coming down. So euro pairs are a little tricky still. I mean, if we look at euro, New Zealand dollar, you know, this is even retraced to a really nice level, right? We're back into this last high. We're getting these bottom wicks that keep closing back into each other. You know, could this be a nice buy trade on euro, New Zealand dollar? Now, and it, you know, it's the same with euro pound, right? Again, we had all of this euro strength, right? And we've retraced to a really nice level. Is this the time to start buying the euro again? Again, the candles on the weekly are very bearish. And what I really want to show you here, right, if we go back to euro New Zealand, is the monthly candle, right? And where it is, right? Look at this all-time high, right? And look at that candle and how it's reacted at that level. So the weekly is a bit, is it time to buy the euro back up to the highs, or is there more room to the downside? Now, looking at this monthly chart, guys, I would suggest there's more selling to come for the euro and potentially back down into these levels. Right, there's euro New Zealand dollar. If we look at euro Aussie dollar, it's the same story, right? You've got this big area, right, of resistance. But look at that candle. That suggests more room to the downside for the euro. All right, so that just goes to show, guys, how it's important to look at multiple time frames to get perspective. All right, guys, and I think that is everything we wanted to look at. Let me just check off my little list of things to look at. Yeah, and that's it, guys, right? So, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash that like button. Please come join us for the live streams throughout the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Come join our trading community. Come join the free Discord. Also, check out the website for all of our premium trading education. And as always, guys, all the information is below the vid. All right, guys, have a great trading week, and I'll see you soon.